All right, so you're gonna have to excuse the selfie style, but I always find a way to make it work when I forget some equipment. But nevertheless, today was the last day of minicamp. Next stop is Spartanburg with training camp. So after practice, got a chance to talk with players and coaches about the action so far.
I think if you would have said that this is where we were going to be personnel wise year to date, I think everyone would have probably signed up for it. I mean, you look at the guys we've added, just to the front on the defensive side of the ball. We've added guys that bring a lot of not only experience but a lot of ability, a lot of talent, a lot of credentials to that position. Obviously with Gerald, we know him. He was a pain in the neck to block twice a year, every year for the last, it seems, forever. Bruce Irvin was like our arch nemesis, trying to get ready to block him when he was in Seattle, and then his quick time in Atlanta. So we've seen him a million times too. It's nice that now we only have to block him and try to block him in practice. But you had him with Burns, the young kids, and Marquise coming on. I mean, I think offensively you can tell they got a little something to them there on the defensive side of the ball, even when we're not in pads.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, teams got to just pick their poison with who they want to double team or who they want to go single blocks with. And you got Luke. I mean, people got to worry about Luke. And I'm like the guy where you're like, you got to worry about him a little bit. But, I mean, then you got Bruce, you got Mario, and you got Brian Burns, Christian Miller, Marquise Haynes, and all those guys. Then you got our back. So, I mean, it's a lot, but we just got to put it together. I mean, it sounds good on paper, but once we put it together, then we'll start getting teams to be like, okay.
Well, I just want to see the guys are ready to roll. I mean, first of all, be in physical shape, and then be mentally prepared. A big part of it right now for us will be their retention when they get back to training camp. Are they physically prepared? We'll do our conditioning test just to make sure. But then, are they mentally prepared? Have they studied? Have they taken their notes with them and reflected on the things that we did? This past 4 weeks during OTAs and minicamp. Probably the biggest thing as far as the defense is concerned is the picking up some of the things that we want to do, some of the different looks and that we're working on. I think that's pretty exciting. They picked it up very quickly. They seem to adapt themselves very well to it, and based on some of the tape, had a chance to watch. I think the guys really see how it can impact the game. So I'm excited about that. Offensively, now we're going into our second season with it. I think the scheme is really coming along very nicely. Probably the biggest thing you got to see were the skill positions. You see the growth there, so that's the other plus. Well, I think the biggest thing will be obviously the development of the offensive line. We've got some young guys that are going to have to contribute. That'll be interesting to watch. And then how the secondary is coming together. Probably the one position obviously is the free safety spot, and we've got to see who's going to step up and take that lead. So again, we've got some interesting situations coming up for us, and I'm excited. Like I said, I really look forward to getting to training camp. Obviously, after I've had a little bit of a break, but I do look forward to it.
All right, so once again, that'll wrap us up from Charlotte. Next stop is Spartanburg. You see the bubble progress behind me here. Hopefully that'll be in place by the time the players return. But as always, I want to thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Leave comments below for anything that I have not talked about that you want to know about. And also, we'll be going live tonight because these videos with players I can only have up for 24 hours, so I'm going to shorten them up and do much more evaluation of training camp and other things on the live video. So be sure to watch that and subscribe to the channel. It's Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe.